single question, we know 4 things already. One is that she called for Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden to be executed for treason. She told her followers that they couldn't allow a peaceful transfer of power. She worked with the planners of some of the events of January 6th. And then the day before the attack, she signaled to her followers a code word that meant to storm federal buildings and supposedly overthrow tyrants. So we're going to ask her about all that and more.
So that is lawyer Ron Fine, who is going to be involved in making the case against Marjorie Greene tomorrow. The code word he talked about there, all of this could be evidence that comes up. And as you'll see in videos we're going to show you, she seems incredibly worried about what's going to come out tomorrow. But I want to give you an idea of what he's talking about. So Greene had referenced a 1776 moment. And that was made 2 days after she took the oath to uphold and protect the Constitution. It had a specific meaning to her intended audience. This is the case being made. When taken in the context of her well-known history of advocating political violence, which Ron detailed on that video, the widespread use of 1776 by violence extremists as a code word for violence and for storming government buildings, and the widespread reports of planned violence on the Capitol. Specifically, her remarks had the intended effect of signaling to her supporters that she was calling not for peaceful protest, but for violent resistance to a peaceful transfer of power to the president-elect in defiance of the Constitution. She specifically says, as you'll see, that we cannot just allow a peaceful transfer, she said, to Joe Biden. So she was very clear about that. And now she's apparently worried. We're gonna get into that first a little bit more about what might happen tomorrow.
And this is an important time in our history. We can't allow this just to be gone, just to let it go. You can't allow it to just transfer power peacefully like Joe Biden wants and allow him to become our president, because he did not win this election. It's being stolen and the evidence is there.
We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide.
Prior to the inauguration in 2021, did you advocate for martial law with the President of the United States?
I don't recall ever discussing that.
Well, are you saying it didn't happen, or you're saying you don't one way or the other?
I don't recall ever discussing that.
Okay. Did you discuss that topic, the idea that there should be martial law declared in the United States prior to the inauguration of President Biden?
Your Honor, I'm going to have to object. I actually represent the President of the United States, and that's covered by executive privilege. She can't get into this kind of stuff.
Advocated for martial law to be imposed in a conversation with the Chief of Staff of the then President of the United States, Mr. Trump.
You can answer the question.
I don't recall.
Thank you.
Did you ever advocate for martial law prior to the inauguration of Mr. Biden with any member of the White House staff that was part of the Trump administration?
I don't recall.
So that was Marjorie Greene in court last Friday. Doesn't recall. And why would you commit to memory something so irrelevant as whether you'd advocated for effectively the at least brief military takeover of the country to keep a president who lost election in office? Advocating for martial law, that's something you do casually as you're having breakfast or something. You're not gonna remember that, Waz. Well, it turns out the reason she couldn't recall, which is not a denial, it's an evasion, is because yes, she advocated for martial law, although she does have a defense. Martial law, as in M-A-R-T-I-A-L, martial as having to do with the martial, like arts, the military. She didn't technically do that, but she did send this text to Mark Meadows 4 days before inauguration. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Like, Marshall, like at Marshall's, where the only law is that you'll get a great bargain on whatever you buy. So they tried their insurrection. They tried to stop the certification. Days before Biden is gonna be sworn in, she's like, what can we do? Let's just take over. Let's send the military into the streets and stop the transfer of power. So you don't have to recall anymore, Marjorie Greene. We know exactly what you sent to Mark Meadows. Waz, what do you think?
I thought it was weaselly. That's what I love about these people who throw stones and hide their hands. Like when it's actually time to have some skin in the game and let your voice actually be heard with some like, yo, I'll say this under oath. I'll stand behind all of this stuff. They always duck and run. It's so cowardice. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is no different. She's a fraud. It's a shame that people actually support this level of cowardice. Also, it's a shame that the quote unquote opposition can't beat this, can't convince people that this is a fraud and that they should follow something with more tangible benefits to their lives. That's really the shame of it all, is that a huckster like Marjorie Taylor Greene can just basically run this long grift and nobody will challenge her on the Democratic side because they've been so wholly discredited in as far as the name of Democrats as hypocrites and useless empty suits that they can't even beat this. This beats 100%. Them, whoops them on a regular occasion.